Bali is one of the most searched travel destinations in the world and also one of the most misunderstood. People either think of it as a party island or they think that it is insanely expensive. But neither is true. But there are some things that you should know before you book your tickets to Bali. First of all, we will talk about visa. For Indian passport holders, Bali, which is a part of Indonesia, offers a visa on arrival. When you are at the airport, you join the VOA queue and give 5 lakh Indonesian rupiah, which is 2700 rupees, and you get a stamp for a 30-day stay. You can extend this once for another 30 days, which makes it 60 days. Bali also has a tourist levy. They'll charge you 800 rupees per person per visit. This is really important. Please keep the receipt safe because some hotels and attractions ask you for the proof that you have paid the levy fee. Now we'll talk about the SIM card. For a physical SIM, get a telecom cell. It has the best coverage across Bali, even if you are planning to go beyond the tourist triangle. A 7-day tourist SIM with 14 GB of data will cost you around 600 rupees, so it is genuinely cheap. XL Axiata is another cheaper option, but it is not as reliable as the first one. For eSIM, Airalo works in Bali. A 7-day plan is around 500 to 700 rupees. Bali has no metro, no train or no public transport system. So for transportation, your options are rent a scooter, hire a private driver or use Grab and Gojek. If you can ride, renting a scooter is the best single decision you will make in Bali. It will cost you around 350 to 400 rupees per day. You can go anywhere with the scooter. Make sure you have an international driver permit. If you can't ride a scooter, no worries. Gojek is your best friend. It works exactly like Rapido in India. Hiring a private driver for day trips is one of the best options. And please don't get fooled by the unofficial taxis parked outside the restaurants. They will quote you crazy prices. For food, the magic word is Warung. Warung is a small family-run local eatery. You will find it on every street. A full meal at a Warung will cost you around 130 to 270 rupees, which is actually nothing. Or eat at a mid-range cafe, which will cost you around 1800 to 3000 per day. The choice is genuinely yours. For food delivery, Grab Food and GoFood both works well in South and Central Bali. Also, if you are vegetarian, Bali is one of the most vegetarian and vegan-friendly destinations in all over Asia. For stay, there are 4 main areas and each have a different vibe. In Canggu, you will find nomads and surfers. Hotels start from 900 per night and villas from 3500 per night. If you are doing a solo trip and you are under 35, this is the place you can go to. Ubud is more cultural and slow travel. Budget stays from 1200, mid-range from 3000, and luxury jungle villas from 5,000 and upwards. If you are doing a couples trip and want slow travel, please stay at Ubud for a few nights. Seminyak. It has a little fancy and upscale vibe. Beach Club hotels start at 5,000 rupees and goes way up. This is best if you want the glossy Bali Instagram experience. Uluwatu has a mix of budget guest house starting from 1,500 rupees up to incredible clifftop villas for 15,000 and upwards. That's Bali sorted for you. Pizza, sip, food, getting around and stay depending on what type of a trip you want. If you found this useful, please subscribe. We are doing Vietnam, Georgia and Japan next. The Bali travel checklist is in the description. See you in the next one.